The ice plains of Velcor 9 stretched endlessly in every direction, a wasteland of frozen methane and howling winds that could strip flesh from bone in minutes. Mira Lorne had been walking for 6 hours straight, her exosuit's servos whining with each labored step through the knee-deep drifts. The distress beacon pulsed weakly on her HUD, still another 12 kilometers to the crashed colony ship. She didn't notice the creature at first. It was Techie who spotted it, the AI's voice crackling through her helmet speakers with unusual urgency. "Mira! Thermal signature closing fast from your 6. Small, but moving with purpose." Mira's hand instinctively moved toward the plasma rifle mag locked to her thigh, but she stopped mid-reach. Through the swirling snow, she caught a glimpse of it, a Velcorian frost cub, no larger than a terrestrial wolf pup, its crystalline fur refracting the dim light of the distant star. The species was supposed to be extinct, wiped out when the terraforming corporations had poisoned the methane seas 5 years ago. "Hold fire," Mira murmured. "It's just a baby." "Mira, I must advise against—" The cub leaped. With surprising agility, it launched itself through the air and landed squarely on Mira's back, tiny claws scrabbling for purchase against her exosuit's plating. She stumbled, nearly face-planting into the ice, but caught herself. The cub weighed almost nothing, perhaps 15 kilos at most. "Get it off!" Techie's voice pitched higher, as close to panic as an AI could manage. "Velcorian fauna are classified as extreme danger. Even juveniles possess venom glands capable of—" "Techie, relax," Mira said, steadying her breathing. She could feel the small creature shifting on her shoulders, its movements frantic and uncoordinated. Not aggressive, desperate. "When's the last time you saw a scared kid attack someone?" "I am an artificial intelligence. I have never seen anything in the conventional—" "Rhetorical question, buddy." The cub made a sound, somewhere between a chirp and a whine. Through her suit's external sensors, Mira could detect the creature's elevated heart rate, the rapid breathing. It was terrified, probably alone, definitely starving, and now clinging to the first warm thing it had encountered in who knows how long. Mira resumed walking. "This is inadvisable," Techie protested. "The additional weight will drain your suit's power reserves by an estimated 7%. Your oxygen consumption will increase." The distress beacon indicates 43 survivors awaiting rescue, and every minute counts. "Then I better keep moving," Mira replied. The wind picked up, screaming across the ice plains like the death cry of a world. Mira leaned into it, her boots crunching through the frozen crust. The cub shifted again, its claws finding gaps in the suit's plating where they could grip without puncturing. Smart little thing. It settled into a position that distributed its weight more evenly across her shoulders. Hours passed. The landscape never changed, just white and gray and the occasional outcropping of frozen rock jutting from the plains like broken teeth. Mira's legs burned. Her suit's power indicator crept steadily downward, but the distress beacon grew stronger. "You know," Techie said eventually, breaking the silence, "I have been analyzing human behavioral patterns for 7 years, and I still do not understand your species." "Yeah? What's confusing you this time?" "Any rational being would have removed the creature immediately. It serves no tactical purpose. It drains resources. Yet you continue forward as if carrying an endangered alien infant through a lethal environment is somehow normal." Mira smiled inside her helmet. "You ever heard the old Earth saying, 'We didn't domesticate wolves, they domesticated us'? Thousands of years ago, some wolf cub probably wandered into a human camp looking for scraps. Any sensible person would have chased it away or killed it. But humans? We fed it, let it sleep by our fires, and eventually we had dogs. The logical gaps in that narrative are substantial. Logic isn't everything, Techie. Sometimes you just do something because it's right." The cub had gone quiet on her back, its breathing slower now. Through her suit's sensors, Mira could feel its body temperature stabilizing. The little thing was falling asleep, lulled by the rhythmic motion of her march and the residual warmth bleeding through her exosuit's insulation. "It's drifting off," she whispered, careful not to disturb it. "Fascinating," Techie mused. "It trusts you." "Yeah. Weird, right? I'm probably the first human it's ever seen, and it just decided I was safe. Perhaps it recognizes something in your species, a quality that transcends biology." Mira trudged onward, the beacon now less than 3 kilometers away. She could see the wreckage on the horizon, twisted metal and shattered composite, the colony ship's skeleton half buried in the ice. Lights flickered in the emergency shelters, 43 souls waiting for rescue. 44 now, counting her passenger. "Mira," Techie said softly, "if we survive this, and statistics suggest we will, what will you do with the creature?" She thought about that. About the corporations that had destroyed this world. About the research stations that might dissect the cub for science. About the collectors who would pay millions for the last of its kind. "We'll figure it out," she said. "Maybe take it back to Earth. Find it a habitat. Make sure it's not alone anymore. That will require considerable resources and political maneuvering. Then I guess I better get started." The cub snored softly against her neck, tiny puffs of frost forming on her helmet's exterior. Mira smiled and kept walking, one step at a time. Through the frozen hell of Velcor 9. Behind her, the ice plain stretched empty. Ahead, the survivors waited. And on her shoulders, the last of an ancient species slept, dreaming whatever dreams such creatures had. Humanity had always been good at carrying things that couldn't carry themselves. It was, perhaps, their most dangerous quality, and their most beautiful. The distress beacon pulsed one final time, and Mira Lorne walked into legend, a frost cub sleeping on her back, proof that in the vast and terrible universe, kindness could still be the most human thing of all. Retry.